All right, so here we are. We're checking out the strategic planning guide, and we were kind of discussing a little bit before we hit record here. I thought both of y'all did really well. I actually learned a lot from reading y'all's. When I was in Blackboard, I saw where there was a little blurb that said if it didn't involve collecting data, you didn't necessarily have to mention it. But I thought both of y'all kind of went above and beyond and went ahead and really hit each artifact and each evidence and all the components, even if it didn't involve data collection. So I really actually learned quite a bit about this from both of y'all. So I'm going to kind of copy what you guys did and go back and fix some of that. Jack, I wound up giving you all four. Charlene, I wound up giving you all fours as well. The only thing that was different that I didn't really think I could rate based off the peer review feedback instrument that we have was the synthesis of course readings and resources. I mean, I guess you could make the argument that you need the handbook or whatever so that you could go through and look at each artifact and each component. But as far as our readings, I thought it was more of a handbook thing that you needed. The rubric in our handbook, there's no rubric for this assignment, or at least I didn't see one, but I did kind of use what Dr. Palermo posted on Blackboard as rubric, and based off that and based off what he posted, I thought Jack, you did really well. Charlene, you did well as well. The quality was great. As far as mechanics and grammar go, didn't see any problem. This wasn't anything, in my opinion, that was very formal. This is what I need to do in the next year, and this is the timeline of how I'm going to get it done. I thought everything was very well organized. Once again, with references and descriptors, I didn't see how any of that could have been met with this assignment. So both of you guys did really well. I usually like to try to give a little more feedback, but I think that's just the nature of the beast with this assignment. And that's all I have.
You're right.
Good job, both of you.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. Charlene, I'm using the mouse for the wrong computer. On yours, content aligned with the course, you had all the content, you had the timeline. The only thing I didn't like about that was include the date with the timeline, because you'd said like MELS 603.
Okay.
If you'd have put like, is in the fall 2016, spring 2017, something like that. Let's see. And then even maybe put that, if you just put the class in the timeline and in the comments, put the date. And that way, the comments wouldn't be blank.
Yeah, I noted that on your peer review when I saw that. I think when you put your due dates in your comment column, you were able to glance at that document and knew immediately. So that was one thing that I was going to include in my final product.
Okay. You showed evidence of data collection. You showed that the opportunities were being discussed. On the peer review form I sent you, I said that the document wasn't shared with the supervisor, but then you sent me an email where you showed it to me. Was that
right.
the document?
Yeah, I did it after the fact. Yeah.
So then I went back and gave
I'll
you
make sure I'll include it. Okay.
I gave you the.
I'll make sure to include that when I do final.
For the mechanics, I saw the acronyms. I believe the teacher working conditions survey didn't have an acronym. That's nitpicking, but you may want to put an acronym for that. Other than that, I think there was like 2 things where you just had to get rid of a word, like get rid of to or just switch to and the. Because like in one it said, I believe it said, we will go the to, instead of saying we will go to the.
Which evidence was this?
The CAP 6B.
Okay.
Or SIAP.
SIAP.
Yeah. Like the flow chart, I'd include a title page or an introduction page.
Yeah, I always don't do that. I can't quite get it together. Yep.
But other than that, it was solid.
Thanks.
Lee, let me look and get this one out of here. Again, like a couple things, just like Charlene had, include a like a cover.
Okay.
With the requirements, all the evidence. I couldn't see half of them on the artifacts. I only saw 15 of them, and so I don't know if it was something on my part.
Let me go back and look while you're.
And so on that one, that was the 2, but everything that was in there was fine. It's just that I only saw 15 of them, and I don't know if you didn't count the ones you'd already done, or you just put the ones that we're doing in the future.
No, I think what he did, Jack, was that he only noted the evidences that might have required data collection and analysis.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because on Blackboard, once again, this was, I'm just going to be honest.
I gotcha.
This was confusing on Blackboard, when Dr. Palermo put if it doesn't, require data collection. But you guys did that, and I think y'all did a really good job. So I'm going to go back and
okay. Well, if you just put the course in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Then that would work.
Yeah, no worries. I'll take care of that.
Yeah, what I did see was the critical thinking, how you're going to do everything. Everything that you spoke about was aligned to the components. I would have included the acronyms for each of the artifacts that you put in there. And that's a nitpick thing.
What's this now?
Like the APTEL?
Yeah.
AAPTEL, action plan.
I would.
That's in. I don't know. Okay. All right. I'm afraid I'm not following you because I've got like.
Oh, maybe that's not like them.
I'm sorry. No, I just want to make sure I'm following you. That's all.
Let me get back to it.
Okay.
Sorry, I was just jumping in. I thought I was just trying to follow you, Jack. Maybe I'm wrong.
All right. Yeah, and then the last part with the organization, either separate the different components.
Yeah, I like that too. Yeah, I saw that's a good idea.
But and yeah, that was it.
Okay, all right.
That was it. Miss Wells.
Yes, sir, Mr.
You're up.
Okay. I'm up.
You're
okay,
up.
Let's go. Jack, again, I'm just concurring what you said about, not listing all the evidence just by the virtue of the task. I was misled too initially because the example. But that's simply to go back, Lee, to do that.
Okay. Yeah, we're talking 15 minutes on that.
Yeah, that's no problem.
Yeah.
And just one last thought. The way I think the tables are a little bit condensed. You could just maybe widen your columns a little bit and just clean it up a bit. That's all
Sure, yeah.
But
No problem.
Easy things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like you said, Lee, because it was a very informal assignment.
Yeah.
The planning document, I think we use it to our advantage because for me, I would have never, and it forced me to have to look at the upcoming evidences because I don't plan that far ahead. I can't plan that far ahead. So it forced me to look about what lies ahead. It frightens me. Jack, any questions you have of me, Lee? Anything about my comments? Good?
No, ma'am. I couldn't agree with you guys more.
Okay. Jack.
Yes.
Okay. Let me find yours, Jack.
And Lee, real quick,
Sure.
On yours where you had the artifact evidence and you had APTEL and it was, the AAPTEL. I just I didn't see if you say the, analysis and action plan for teacher evaluation. And that's nitpicking. That's a nitpick thing.
Okay.
Because I know I think you had that also, Charlene. Yes?
I see what you're saying.
Because
No,
So you're saying go ahead and spell it out what the acronym means.
Yeah, spell it
I'm
out.
with you now. I'm sorry. All right, I'm with you now. Yes. Okay. Yeah, no problem. I'm with you. Sorry about that.
No, that's all right. Because you did yours, Charlene, as on the top of each.
At the top of each table, I wrote out the evidence and then abbreviated as such in after the title.
And I
Yeah,
think that's what I'm going to go back and do because I liked how yours was broken down like that. Definitely.
yeah. I thought you did have the best one as far as how it looked.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Well, that's because this was an easy assignment, you guys. Look at, we won't say anything about how I'm having to have 4 more hours of work on my AppTel. Oh, my heavens. Okay. Well, Jack, yours was great. I mean, yeah. I gave you all 4s. Tables look professional. The table is reflective of the rubric's requirements for each evidence. It had a deep, clear understanding of each description. If I looked at it at a glance, I would know you know exactly how you're going to plan accordingly, and I believe that was the task. So, Good job there, Jack.
All right, thank you.
Welcome.
So we will meet again next week with the AppTel Part B.
Real quick, could we change that since it's Father's Day and it's also my anniversary?
Okay. Yes. Absolutely.
Must be. All right, well, let's stop the meeting and then we'll talk about it.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
And I think that was it.
We're actually still recording. We can't.